Good morning. Brian Hale with Mortgage Advisory Partners. It's Monday, January 29th. And in this post, we have our weekly housing update newsletter posted along with a link to subscribe to the newsletter. And as I always remind everybody every week, it's free. So feel free to subscribe. This week's newsletter really talks about the impact of upcoming Fed rate cuts. There's some discussion going on in the marketplace, whether we think there's going to be 6 rate cuts this year, 4 rate cuts, 3 rate cuts, whether it's going to start in January. I think very highly unlikely, given that January is almost over. Whether the first cuts happen in March or May or June, I don't, to be honest with you, spend a lot of time thinking about that. What I think this really suggests is that absent some significant event in the world, we're likely to have materially lower interest rates in 2024, kind of setting up for an even lower period of rates in 2025. That said, this week's newsletter walks you through some commentary and some charts to kind of explain what's going on. Coming up this week, we have a couple of really important pieces of data. On Tuesday, we get what's called the JOLTS report, which is the job openings report, which will give us a little sense of the number of open jobs relative to people that are looking for employment. We also on Wednesday, we're going to get our first look at the new jobs creation report with the ADP report that comes out on Wednesday. Then on Friday, being the first Friday of February, we'll get the January unemployment report and jobs creation report. I think this the target for January is about 173,000 new jobs. If we come in well above that, we're likely going to see the bond market sell off some, and we'll see some slightly higher interest rates. If we come out at about that level or below that level, we'll likely see a little bit of a rally. But that will depend somewhat on the JOLTS report that's going to come earlier in the week. And again, I would keep an eye on just world political events. You know, we had this bombing and some U.S. Service people killed tragically over the weekend in the Middle East. And to the degree that people think that the Middle East conflict is going to expand, it could have a very detrimental impact on oil prices. It hasn't really yet, although oil prices have been up slightly. To the degree we were to lose ground on the price of oil, that would be inflationary in terms of its impact and would likely have a negative effect on interest rates. So again, in this post, you're going to see the link to this week's newsletter. You'll also, for those of you who aren't subscribing, you'll see the link to subscribe to the newsletter as well. Again, it's free. If you subscribe to the newsletter, you actually get it 3 days early. You're going to get it. Those who are subscribed receive the newsletter on Friday, this past Friday. So again, if you'd like to get this newsletter on an ongoing basis, get it early before the weekend so that you can talk to your clients and your customers that are thinking about applying for a loan. You want to have an opportunity to discuss with them what's going on in rates. This newsletter, I think, is particularly well written for all originators and really anybody to use it in conversations with their clients. If you lead salespeople, if you're a branch manager or others, this newsletter can be great for a weekly sales meeting that you may have with your sales team or to educate you on what's going on in the marketplace. So again, I hope you all have a great week. We'll talk to you again soon. Pay attention to the data. There's a good list of the upcoming reports in the back of the newsletter, and I'll talk to you all next Monday. Take care and have a great week.